Every summer, thousands of Jehovah's Witnesses gather for 3 days of Bible sermons at their annual summer district convention. This year's convention theme is Declare the Good News. But what do they actually talk about at these conventions, and what does this have to do with you? If your city is hosting a Jehovah's Witness convention this summer, here are 5 things to look out for. Jehovah's Witnesses are subjected to approximately 8 hours of propaganda at these conventions. In the past 10 years especially, the organization has come under fire for their videos featuring anti-LGBTQ sentiment, and they've even been censured by European courts for showing disturbing content to an audience of children. Videos depicting parents shunning their own children have also been widely criticized by outsiders as inhumane and off-putting. So, when you see these smiling faces flooding your city in their pretty dresses and nice suits, just keep in mind that they are ushering a very destructive ideology onto your home turf. Okay, you might see activists or protests directly outside the venue. The Jehovah's Witnesses or Watchtower organization has attempted to cover up child sexual abuse for decades and refuses to acknowledge, let alone apologize to its victims. These victims of child sexual abuse have endured years of gaslighting and trauma due to the organization's two-witness rule, which requires victims to produce 2 witnesses to a crime before the elders can prosecute the accused. Since, of course, child sexual abuse rarely happens with an extra set of eyes at the scene, this policy unfairly protects the abuser and enables him or her to find more victims. The organization has since amassed thousands of sex offenders in a secret database they keep at their headquarters, and that they refuse to report to law enforcement. Former members who dare to speak out are subsequently shamed, ignored, and branded as mentally diseased liars. For a lot of us, I think it's fair to say, if it's just not immediately relevant to our life, we don't give thought to certain issues, either out of ignorance or for whatever reason, even if we mean well. So, it can be easy for outsiders who, are by all accounts open-minded, tolerant of different people and religions or, groups, including the witnesses who are not familiar with this issue, to not think anything of it when the witnesses roll into town. A lot of witnesses are not even aware that the organization has a chronic, systemic child sexual abuse problem because they have been taught to avoid reading or watching any criticism of the organization, any material that was not sanctioned or approved by the organization. So you might see this outside the venue and wonder what's going on, but these protests are 100% justified and effective at raising awareness of the organization's abusive policies surrounding child sexual abuse. Okay, if you work in the service industry, food, hotel, whatever, Jehovah's Witnesses are notorious for not tipping. Jehovah's Witnesses, on balance, are broke. They've been screwed over by their religious leaders, robbed of education and opportunity, and a lot of families are just scraping to get by. I knew a witness years ago in my hometown who was pressured to attend the Friday portion of the convention because it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and, his boss wasn't cool with that. But he went anyway and lost his job. And he was praised for it. He was praised for being bold in the face of persecution, when in reality, he was being stubborn and irresponsible. This man had a family to provide for. He caved to social pressure from the elders and put his family at risk. So, yes, you will have some witnesses who are well-to-do, have done very well for themselves, but the majority have a very skewed perspective of secular work and are very stingy as a result. And that will be reflected in their tipping habits. Okay, so it's possible that local news media will cover these conventions, citing how clean, friendly, and well-organized the witnesses are. And this isn't wrong. A lot of Jehovah's Witnesses volunteer to help out and keep the grounds clean. I just find it funny, even when I was a witness, that the organization would always act like they're the only ones who know how to use a broom. They've cornered the market on courtesy and cleanliness. These puff pieces, of course, conveniently omit the lawsuits and federal investigations that have been launched against the organization for their mishandling of child sexual abuse. jwfacts.com is an excellent resource if you want to know more about this squeaky clean group that has descended on your city. I'll leave a link in the bio. Okay, and finally, a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses, this is going to come as a shocker, don't want to be there. This isn't like, a fun religious festival, regardless of whether or not you agree with their beliefs. This isn't a fun religious festival or reunion in the sense that you can relax and enjoy a variety of fun activities. It's like going to another full-time job for 3 days. Each day starts around 9 a.m. and lasts typically till about 4 or 5 p.m. There's one break for lunch, to give the thousands of restless attendees a break. The reality is, this is an exhausting process. A lot of families have to wrangle small children. And, if you're a new mother, you just popped out a baby, you better be there with baby in tow, no matter how exhausted and sleep deprived you are. You have teenagers who are just ready to claw their eyes out. And mind you, a lot of witnesses have to travel long distances or pay for a hotel in order to attend all 3 days. So yeah, these conventions are time-consuming, expensive, and just physically and emotionally exhausting. All right, so XJW viewers out there, give me your convention stories. I'm just waiting for all the Gen Xers and millennials to talk about the Danishes. I mean, let's just be real. It was the only thing we did look forward to at the conventions. Is your city hosting the Witnesses Convention? Any new trends or observations? Hope you guys have a great day. See you soon.